All right, so today we're going to dive into something special, something really special. We're talking about a whiskey celebrating a pretty big birthday.
Yeah, 15 years. That's a milestone.
It is. And you know how much we love a good anniversary edition here?
Oh, absolutely.
And when it's Big Peat turning 15, well, you know it's going to be a celebration. A smoky one at that.
And they're not holding back on the peat, are they? A 15th anniversary edition, well, it calls for something pretty unique. And this Big Peat release, this isn't your average dram.
No, it's not.
This is a blended malt from Douglas Laing. Let me tell you, those folks, they know their whiskey.
Okay, so for those who haven't had the pleasure of a Big Peat dram, paint us a picture. What can you tell us about Douglas Laing? What are they known for in the whiskey world?
So Douglas Laing, they're an independent bottler.
Okay.
What that means is, in the world of whiskey, they're all about sourcing and selecting exceptional casks.
Oh, wow.
From different distilleries
Yeah.
all over the place. And they've really built a reputation for themselves. I mean,
Yeah.
they've got this meticulous approach, this real commitment to quality over quantity.
I like that.
When you see the Douglas Laing name on a bottle, you know it's going to be good.
You know it's going to be good. And they've really upped the ante for this anniversary edition, haven't they?
They have.
I mean, red wine cask maturation for a Big Peat.
Yeah, that's not something you see every day.
Not your typical easily.
Definitely not your typical isolate profile.
Yeah.
Aging in red wine casks, it's going to give you a whole different dimension of flavor,
Yeah.
especially compared to those traditional ex-bourbon casks.
Right.
I mean, we're talking about a potential softening of that intense peat smoke, layered with notes of dark fruit, maybe some spice even, perhaps even a hint of chocolate. It's all about creating a more complex, a more well-rounded experience.
It's almost like they're taming the beast just a little bit,
Yeah.
but in a way that makes you appreciate its power even more, right?
Exactly, exactly.
And speaking of power, they didn't shy away from the ABV on this one either.
No, they did not. 50%. That's going to pack a punch.
That's going to be a bold one.
Yeah, that higher ABV, it's really going to amplify all those beautiful flavors we're talking about. It's not just about the intensity either.
Okay.
It's about the texture, the mouthfeel. You often get a much richer, oilier texture with higher proof whiskeys,
Right.
which can be really appealing,
Yeah.
especially when you're dealing with those big, bold peat flavors.
So if we're building a flavor profile here, we're talking about that signature Big Peat smoky character as the foundation, layered with those red wine cask influences. Dark fruits, spices, a touch of chocolate. What stood out to you in the tasting notes? What are we going to find in the glass?
Well, they describe the nose as warm, earthy, and smoke-dominated.
Okay.
No surprise
Makes
there.
sense.
But they also highlighted notes of dark fruits, vanilla, and even butterscotch,
Oh, interesting.
which is intriguing, right?
It is interesting. Yeah.
And then on the palate, seems like the fruit really comes through, along with toffee, dark chocolate, and get this, a subtle nutty nuance.
A subtle, nutty nuance. All right, now you've got my attention. That's not something you'd expect in a peaty Islay malt,
Right.
which makes me even more curious to try it. It's like they've taken those classic Islay flavors
Yeah.
and then woven in these unexpected threads of sweetness and richness.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the finish is where those spices from home baking come into play.
Okay.
Now, that's a direct result of those red wine casks.
Yeah.
Just adding this warmth and complexity that you wouldn't typically associate with a younger whiskey. It's clear they've gone to great lengths to craft something special here.
And they're certainly not being subtle about presenting it as something special either. I mean, forget your standard cardboard tube. This bottle comes in a full-on gift box,
Oh,
right?
absolutely. It's a beautiful presentation.
Yeah.
Very fitting for a 15th anniversary edition.
Yeah.
The box itself, it highlights 15 unique facts about Big Peat and its Islay home. It's a nice touch for those who like to geek out a little on the history and the details.
Yeah, I like that.
They've even included a QR code that you can scan to join, get this, the exclusive Big Peat Club.
Now that's just good marketing.
It is, isn't it?
I'm already picturing myself with a bottle of this, impressing my friends with my Big Peat trivia. But,
Oh, yeah?
okay, let's be real for a second.
Okay.
We all know anniversary releases, they can sometimes be more about the hype than the actual liquid in the bottle.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. There are definitely brands out there that rely more on a fancy package and some marketing buzzwords than
Yeah.
actual substance.
Yeah.
But I think Douglas Laing, I think they've earned the benefit of the doubt here.
Okay.
Their track record speaks for itself.
So we're looking at a limited edition release, aged primarily in red wine casks, bottled at a hefty 50% ABV, and promising a complex flavor profile that blends those classic Islay notes with With unexpected sweetness and spice.
Precisely. And remember, this is a blended malt, right?
Right.
Which means Douglas Laing has carefully selected and combined single malt whiskeys from different Islay distilleries to achieve this very specific flavor profile they were going for.
Wow.
It's a testament to their expertise as blenders.
Speaking of expertise, there was something I read about Douglas Laing that I found quite interesting.
Oh, yeah.
A bit of a family tree shakeup, you could say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
So there was a split within the company.
Interesting.
It's not widely known, but Douglas Laing is actually just one part of the family business now.
Okay.
Fred Laing, one of the sons of the original founder.
Right.
He runs that branch. While his brother, Stuart, he heads up another company called Hunter Laing. So 2 branches of the family tree, but both still very much involved in the world of whiskey, just under different banners.
Yep.
2 branches on the family tree. Huh. But let's bring it back to this special bottle, this Big Peat 15.
Yeah.
For our listeners who might be thinking about, tracking down a bottle of this Big Peat 15th anniversary edition, what would you say is the key takeaway here? Why should this bottle be on their radar?
I think the real draw, especially for a whiskey enthusiast like yourself, is the chance to experience a different side of Big Peat.
Okay.
You're still getting that signature Islay peatiness.
Right.
That untamed, smoky character. But, it's been softened, rounded out a bit by those red wine cask influences.
Right.
It's a very unique flavor profile that you just won't find in their core range.
Yeah, it's like they took that classic Islay intensity and then, I don't know, draped it in a velvet smoking jacket or something.
There you go. Yeah.
You're still getting that bold smokiness, but it's accompanied by these really intriguing layers of, well, we've talked about them. Dark fruit, spice, even a hint of chocolate. It just sounds like a fascinating interplay of flavors.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't forget about that higher ABV.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
50%. That's not just about intensity. It's about the texture, the mouthfeel.
Right.
Which can really elevate the home experience.
You piqued my curiosity when you were talking about the tasting notes. When they mentioned the spices from home baking on the finish, that just sounds so warm and inviting.
Yeah.
Especially alongside those kind of richer flavors that we've been discussing. Do you think those nuances would be as pronounced if they bottled it at a lower proof?
That's a great question. And it highlights how important ABV is to the overall flavor profile of a whiskey.
Oh.
Because it's not just about, how strong it is. It's about how it carries those flavors on your palate.
Right.
A lower ABV might have resulted in a lighter, more delicate expression.
Okay.
But it might not have had the same depth and complexity that a 15-year-old whiskey really deserves.
Right. So this isn't a whiskey you want to, gulp down. This is one you want to sip slowly, savor, and really appreciate those layers of flavor. That interplay between the peat smoke and the red wine cask influence.
Yeah. This isn't your everyday dram. This is an exploration.
Right.
And speaking of exploration, they've included that QR code on the box, right?
Yeah.
Leads you to the Big Peat Club.
Yeah, we touched on that a little bit earlier. What do you think is the appeal of something like that for whiskey lovers?
Well, I think it's a smart move by Douglas Laing.
Okay.
It shows they're thinking beyond just selling a bottle of whiskey.
Right.
They're trying to build a community around their brand.
Okay.
And for enthusiasts, it's an opportunity to connect with other like-minded individuals.
Yeah.
Share tasting notes, learn more about the world of Big Peat, the Islay whiskey in general. I think it just adds another layer to the whole experience. It actually gives me an idea. You said you'd like to do a side-by-side with the standard Big Peat expression.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
To see what kind of influence those red wine casks really had.
Yeah.
Well, here's how you take that to the next level. Imagine this. You invite a fellow whiskey enthusiast over.
Okay.
Maybe someone from the Big Peat Club even.
Oh, I like it.
And you set up a blind tasting.
A blind tasting with a fellow peat enthusiast. Now you're speaking my language. I can already picture it. The dim lights, the Glencairn glasses, black, a little dash of water on hands.
Oh, got to have that water. You can really see if they can pinpoint that red wine cask influence.
Oh, interesting.
Without knowing which one is which.
Yeah.
It becomes a real test.
Yeah, like a true test of your palate.
Exactly. A chance to really dive deep into those those subtle nuances that we've been talking about.
And it's not just about identifying them, right? It's about analyzing how those flavors interact.
Right, exactly.
Does the peat smoke play differently with the fruit notes in each expression? Is the finish longer in one versus the other? It turns into a masterclass almost.
Yeah.
In appreciating like the art of whiskey making.
And that's what makes these kinds of releases so exciting. It sparks your curiosity.
It does.
And it pushes you to kind of explore beyond just your usual go-to bottles.
Right.
It's a good reminder that, that the world of whiskey is full of surprises.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when you start experimenting with these different cask maturations and blending techniques.
Well, there you have it, listeners. The Big Peat 15th Anniversary Edition, a whiskey that's clearly more than just a fancy box and a clever marketing campaign.
It is.
This is a celebration of craft.
Absolutely.
A testament to Douglas Laing's commitment to quality and their ability to create something truly exceptional.
Yeah. If you're looking for an Islay experience that goes beyond, I think, the expected, something that combines that classic peat smoke with, some unexpected layers of sweetness and spice,
right,
then this limited edition bottling is definitely worth seeking out.
Definitely worth seeking out.
And who knows, it might just inspire you to host your own blind tasting and embark on a little flavor adventure of your own.
I love it. Cheers to that.
Cheers.